What he said. From the trainers to the head coach, we would be dancing in there. I thought, this is crazy.
We brought swag and hip-hop to the NFL. It was fly.
It was the right team at the right time in the right town. It was great times, yeah.
Too legit to quit. This was the most fun team ever in pro football.
Everybody needs to watch our show, huh? Huh? See ya!
I had that Falcon starter jacket back in the day. And speaking of Atlanta, we're just minutes away from sending you out to that Georgia. Not the Georgia Dome anymore. It's Mercedes-Benz Stadium. That's right. Thursday night game day at 6 Eastern. That's coming your way, followed by kickoff at 8 o'clock right here on NFL Network, NBC, also streaming live on Amazon Prime Video. For so many years, it was the Georgia Dome. It's almost just a reflex to call it that. But time now for our Thursday night football guarantees. And we're going to start with Michael Fabiano. Fabs, what do you have? I'm sure it's something that's of the hater variety.
Of course it is, right? Matt Ryan will now be a top 10 fantasy quarterback this week. Well, because Matt Ryan hasn't really been a top 10 quarterback all season long, which is strange to say because last year he was the second best player in fantasy football.
Hate.
A lot of hateration.
What you got?
I'll bring the love.
Okay.
The love for Mark Ingram. I say he gets 100 scrimmage yards and a touchdown. I know there were some concerns. My mentions are littered with people panicking. What do I do with them? You start this guy each and every week.
You hear that brass band in the background?
Sounds fantastic, right? Michael Thomas is having the best bad fantasy season of anybody ever, who's had 5 or more catches in every single game except one this year. He'll have 5 or more catches again tonight.
Michael Thomas, not to be confused with
Philip Michael Thomas
of Miami Vice fame. All right, how about Drew Brees? What do you say? Drew Brees going to go out there, throw for 300 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Light work.
I try to temper expectations.
That's low for you.
Light work.
Usually I would say 400 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Go 3. Guarantee a third one.
Whatever.
Guarantee a third.
Third touchdown from Drew Brees. There you have it.
Guaranteed a third.
Now tomorrow right here at NFL Fantasy Live, we're going to get you all set for week 1 of the fantasy playoffs. What's that? Playoffs, including who to start, who to bench in that huge Eagles-Rams tilt in L.A. Join us, 4 Eastern, NFL.com, 5 Eastern.
For the first time this season, Thursday Night Football visits the home of the defending NFC champs. And for the first time ever, we get a look at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Talk about a luxurious drive. But the road has been full of potholes for reigning league MVP Matt Ryan and the Falcons, who need a win to stay in the NFC playoff chase and have any chance of catching Drew Brees in New Orleans in the NFC South. The Saints have won 9 of 10 and have fans in the Bayou believing again. It's time to kick off Week 14 on Thursday Night Football.
Week 14 begins with a clash of rivals in the NFC South.
2 teams ready to get it, but we wanted more.
The Saints and Falcons face off in a key division matchup, both aiming to make a major push toward the playoffs. The Saints have amplified their aerial attack with a stout defense and prolific ground game.
Kamara with some running room, and he will score!
But are they built for a long playoff run?
Yes!
While the reigning NFC champs are still trying to find familiar form.
Looking for Julio Jones, who's got it!
And gain momentum for a return trip to the Super Bowl. It's all ahead on TNF Game Day, presented by KFC.
Your brass all day long. Don't let up. Hey, let's go, bring it out. Hey, every season is full of defining moments. It's going to be fun. Just stay tuned.
Welcome to TNF Game Day, presented by KFC.
Ever feel like you're being watched like a hawk? Or at least the largest freestanding falcon in the entire world? There he is, and here we are outside of the stadium in Atlanta. Good evening, everybody. I am Chris Rose, sitting in for Rich Eisen, alongside 3 guys that didn't mind finding the end zone back in the day. 89, Steve Smith. How are you?
I'm doing excellent.
And a pair of Hall of Famers, Marshall Falk and Michael Irvin, who barely got here by the skin of his teeth. Police escort in order to get to the airport in Dallas.
Oh, listen here.
Whoa,
put this off my way.
Are you kidding me?
Y'all put this. Come on, man.
Are you kidding me?
I was late for the airport to come.
Sounds like a story of Earth's life.
I was running late. No, okay.
Did they change
you have
the
a
flight?
story? No, I was with Jay Novacek at his Hope Farm, and he brings in all of the kids, and he brings in a lot of police officers, and they play, and how the police officers interact with the kids on their level. I mean, I think it's just a great thing that Jay Novacek does. Really does.
It's
really
okay to have the police in front of you. Just don't have them behind you.
And that's what I was saying. I was so happy because, trust me, now seriously, on my way getting to there, I did have the police behind me because I got stopped speeding, and I had to tell them, I said, I'm going to do you guys' event, you know. So they took care of it on the way coming back to make sure I get to the airport.
You know, Irv, you acted so shocked. You put it out on social media.
Yes, I did.
By the way, I'll take this to follow you.
So let me get this straight. You were running late, and then you were breaking the law by using your phone when driving. Did all of this happen?
I don't think you can be prosecuted
my phone
for that.
is sitting on the dash.
I don't think so.
That's all.
Did this happen in Irving, Texas?
It was. We went right through Irving, Texas. Right.
Let's take you right through the playoff picture as it stands heading into Week 14. The Falcons are actually on the outside looking in, but the Saints are one of 4 teams that could clinch a playoff berth in the NFC. They'll need to win and get some help, just like the Rams, who are thinking playoffs for the first time since 04. By the way, the Eagles and Vikings, they win and they're division champs. And you look at the remaining schedules, the Saints are actually sitting pretty in the NFC South. They completed a season sweep of Carolina, but the Falcons are saying, hold tight, we play everybody in the division, including the Saints twice in the last 3 weeks. And finally, they have opened the gates. These people believe.
They showed up. I told them
without a police escort. They were late, but no police escort.
All right, guys, I'm going to start with a quick math question. Marshall, quick math question. 1, 2, or 3 teams from the NFC South make the playoffs?
I only see 2 teams, and here's the thing. This game tonight is huge. And I'm not just saying it because it's our game on Thursday night. I'm saying it because for the Atlanta Falcons, you lose tonight, you are out. You basically declare yourself out of this playoff race. I feel like from that point forward, the Panthers and the Saints, they are going to be the 2 teams that get in. If you just start to look at the schedule and the games that are stacked up against the Atlanta Falcons, they cannot afford to lose tonight. They cannot. There are 2 teams right now, but if the Atlanta Falcons can win tonight, without a doubt, they will be in this playoff race. But if they lose tonight, they dig themselves in a hole that they cannot get out of, because the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints are getting momentum going into the playoffs.
I said Sunday that the Saints will come marching in. That means win this game, to win Sunday, win this game, and get a hold of the division. Because Carolina, they have to play Minnesota. That's a whole nother problem that you don't even want to deal with right now. But the more and more I'm sitting around and hearing everybody talk about the desperation of this game, and the crowd is here now, right? The desperation of this game, the crowd getting into this game. Coach, they've asked for the crowd to be very loud. It's starting to make me lean. It's starting to make me lean. You're going to see Atlanta's best game. Everything they have left in them tonight, they will bring to this football field today.
All right, so Marshall gave me a number. He said 2. You say
2.
And you say?
All 3 of them have a great opportunity if Atlanta wins tonight. But I will say probably 2.
You guys are all boring. I'll pick the same number, although different teams. I kind of like that. All right, time right now to take you indoors for the first time as we say hi to the crew from NBC. Liam McHugh, Rodney Harrison, and Hall of Famer Tony Dungy. Take it away.
Chris, thanks so much. So Michael Irvin got the crowd going there a little bit.
Yes, he did.
Dan Quinn might want to hire him to come in here because he is pleading with this crowd to
Nobody
get
believe
loud.
Michael Irvin.
His words, stop using coasters. He even sent out this letter to the fans, giving them an excuse if they roll into work late or perhaps they want to take the day off. Tony, 3-3 in this brand new building.
Yeah, and I just saw Coach Quinn as we were walking over here, and he is desperate. I mean, he knows this is a big game. Marshall Faulk said it. If they lose tonight at home, that'll be 6 losses. Can you if you lose at home, do you think you can go to New Orleans in 2 weeks and win? Probably not. So this is a game they have to win tonight if they want to make the playoffs.
Coach, I had an opportunity to talk to one of the coaches here, and I said, Coach, what do you have to do in order to win for the Falcons? He said, we have to play hard. I said, well, Coach, you have to play not just hard, but you also have to play smart. And to me, dropping Vic Beasley, who led the league in sacks last year, I just don't think it's very smart. Now, here he is. He's in open space. He led the league in sacks last year, and also communication. You see some confusion. and all the missed tackles. You see the Falcons on the ground. They have to do a better job of doing the simple things. Once they do the simple things right, then they'll have a chance to win.
It's funny you talk about the Falcons tackling, because that's what Coach Quinn said to me. We've got to tackle well tonight. These are the two best backs that we've seen all year.
And one thing about the fans, they can't tackle for you.
No matter how many letters you write to them.
All right, you need to play smart. You need to play efficiently. They need to get a win here tonight. Well, more from these two guys. Yeah, and the fans need to get loud. Right. They need to tackle.
No doubt.
More from these two guys in a bit. Right now, let's go back to Chris.
All right, Liam, we'll also focus on the offensive side of the football. There is Julio Jones, 253 a couple weeks ago, 24 yards last week. Later on, the guys will tell you which Mr. Jones will show up tonight. And Marshall and Steve ready to go inside to test out that turf inside the stadium and hang out with Meadow Creek High School. All the talks about Ingram and Kamara, but find out how Atlanta will use its two-headed monster at running back.
TNF Game Day is presented by KFC. Fill your family's mouth stockings with a $20 fill-up. It's finger-licking good. And brought to you by K Jewelers. Every kiss begins with K.
Skipper, let's see what the Colonel got you.
Okay. A KFC $5 fill-up? Yes!
Did you like it?
I got one too!
And honey, the Colonel didn't leave us out. She liked it, right?
It's a $20 family fill-up! It's a great home-cooked meal that we don't have to home-cook.
Man, I nailed it this year. It's finger-licking good.
Once, chocolate was the best thing you could ever give her. And it still is. K Jewelers presents Levian Chocolate Diamond Jewelry, a spectacular collection with stunning chocolate diamonds and rare gemstones. At K, the #1 store for the chocolate she'll love forever.
Every kiss begins with K.
There are moments in life where the smallest adjustments can make a big difference. Braun beard trimmers have up to 39 length settings which adjust to the nearest ½ millimeter, giving you total control of your style. For the moments that matter to you, Braun, designed for what matters.
It's a small finger, a worm.
Like a dagger?
Tiny sword.
Breadstick.
Matchstick.
A lamppost.
Coin slot. No.
10 seconds.
A stick, a walking stick,
The
a
Eiffel
boundary,
Tower.
Mount Kilimanjaro, big
Sorry. It's a tandem bicycle.
What?
As long as sloths are slow, you can count on Geico saving folks money. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
It was his turn to buy the next round. It just happened to be during a huge pick six. A play so big, years from now, it will be known as simply the pick. It's a shame, but it's also a badge of honor all true fans must endure. So sprint proudly, my friend, because we get you. And like you, Courtyard is all about the game.
Carbs to refuel. Electrolytes to help replenish what you lose in sweat. Gatorade. Rehydrate, replenish, and refuel.
This is the next step, and we gotta have.
Wherever he went, whatever he did, guys just followed him.
The way that he was always positive about everything, he inspired me.
He is definitely one of the greatest to ever play this game.
Aeneas Williams is unbelievable.
When I saw what he was doing in Ferguson, he brings all these people together and they can talk through the things that they're going through in life. This is absolutely amazing.
This is Coleman firing through. Touchdown, Atlanta. Freeman dives across, touchdown. Tevin Coleman plows in. Devontae's got 5. He's got 10. Freeman stays on his feet. He moved it up the gearbox pretty quick. Touchdown, Tevin Coleman.
The ground game so important for the Atlanta Falcons tonight. In fact, Marshall and Steve are on the field to show us how the tandem of Freeman and Coleman will be deployed.
I'm here with Coach Carrera, Meadow Creek Mustangs. Huge season, made the playoffs. You guys been working hard. Let's give it up for that.
We got a big game tonight. We got a big game between the Falcons and the Saints. I feel like in order for the Falcons to take advantage of their offense, there's a play that we're about to show you that I think this play could be the difference maker in the game. You guys ready to show them this play? Yes, all right, let's line up. Here, I believe the Falcons have to take advantage of not just having one back in the game, but tonight they got both of their backs back. So what they have to do is put pressure on the Saints linebackers, because I believe that's the weak suit of the Saints. Putting pressure on the Saints linebackers in order to get some big plays. What's the name of this play?
T-Jet left line.
One more time?
T-Jet left line.
T-Jet left line is what we call it. Here's what we're going to do. We got Steve here. He's going to be the offset back. He's going to be Devontae Freeman. Freeman here, he's going to run up the seam. That linebacker has to make a decision about what he's going to do in this seam. What's your name, young man?
Chauncey Williams.
Chauncey Williams. This is Mr. Coleman right here. Chauncey is going to take this fake right here. He's going to come over here, and he's going to set up for the screen. You got a weak side backer with no force player. You got a seam going up the field, and you have a screen going here. You got to have two things working. Not to mention, that guy over there, that's Julio Jones. He's running the 9 route. He demands double coverage. So let's run this play and show why this play is such stress on the defense. On you, quarterback. Oh, here we go. Stop right here. You got block here, you got block here. They don't know if they should play the run or if they should play the pass. Here, this linebacker decides he's going to go with Mr. Freeman. Steve is playing Mr. Freeman. Let's go. You go with Mr. Freeman, go. You throw the screen right here. You have no force player, no alley player. Oh my God. You put the ball in Tevin Coleman's hand with no force player, no alley player. You take advantage of a defense. I believe this play is going to be a huge play tonight. You got two options there. You got Freeman up the seam if the linebacker wants to play the screen, or you have Mr. Coleman on the screen if the linebacker takes the seam. That's a lot of rhyming right there. I like that.
Good job, Marshall. I like it. Speaking of Mr. Coleman, back in high school, he wowed him at Oak Forest, which is about 25 miles outside of Chicago. Ran for almost 1,000 yards on only 83 carries and scored 11 touchdowns his senior year. Actually had an offer to play collegiately down here at Georgia Tech, but took his talents to Bloomington and IU instead. Now, all year we've been asking for your plays of the week. Now, time for some plays of the year. And tonight's play comes courtesy of none other than Matt Casey, NBC producer and Garden City alumnus, whose Trojans took home the Long Island Championship 2 weeks ago with plays like this. Look at this. Trevor Yeboah Cody. Come on, my man. Keep running. Michael, you going to get there?
He's getting there.
Come on.
He's getting
there. He's slowing down.
Oh, that's swag.
That away. Oh, look at this. Frenemies tonight. Sean Payton, Dan Quinn. Now, what's Quinn pointing up to? That, of course, would be the new big screen. Now, Payton's been in this.
He's saying that's where my banner would have been. I'm sorry.
See, look, he's pointing at the scoreboard. Michael, he is. Maybe they can get together and watch football on the big screen this weekend. And we've got the fans. They are ready as well. Much more from Atlanta, including how the Falcons stopped Drew Brees tonight.
Golden Corral Smokehouse keeps on rolling. New smoked beef short ribs, honey chipotle shrimp, baby back ribs, and more. But if you want to rock the salad bar, hit it. The Smokehouse at Golden Corral. Your choice rules.
Hey, don't be sad that the SiriusXM free listening event is over. You can get your groove back with packages starting at $6.99 a month plus fees. Just visit SiriusXM.com/GetSXM to turn us back on and enjoy all that commercial-free music, plus sports, comedy, talk, news, and more. So visit SiriusXM.com/GetSXM or call for the latest, greatest offers to get you up and rocking in no time.
More people shop online for the holidays than ever before. And the United States Postal Service delivers more of those purchases to homes than anyone else in the country. Because we know even the smallest things are sometimes the biggest.
Dental professionals recommend using an electric toothbrush. In a recently published clinical study, Philips Sonicare Diamond Clean removed up to 82% more plaque than Oral-B 7000. Philips Sonicare. Save when you switch now.
Thursday night football. It's Broncos.
Game time, baby.
It's Colts.
1, 2, 3, go!
Von Miller and Denver are looking to finish strong.
Oh my goodness, he caught it!
But T.Y. Hilton and Indy aren't going down without a fight.
That was awesome.
Thursday night football. When it's on, it's on. Next Thursday at 8 on NFL Network, NBC, and streaming on Amazon Prime Video. Then it's an NFL Network special doubleheader Saturday, December 16th, starting at 4:30, only on NFL Network.
Football, baby, the whole world is watching all night long, man. 1, 2, 3.
Coach, what's going on?
I'm up here in the press box where I'm usually not.
Ain't no better place to be. Right here, right now. NFL football, right here on NFL. Let's go.
Around the clock, we make your morning.
The best hour of your life. We're going there.
Your Thursday nights.
The offense has arrived tonight.
That's how we roll here on Thursday Night Football.
We are all day, every day.
We start with the developing story.
We are the NFL's future.
Welcome to the NFL Draft. He's got Pro Bowl potential.
Present.
It's time to go, baby.
And past.
Any guy could touch the ball, could score. Don't know what that feeling's like to walk off the field a Super Bowl champion.
We are where the season never ends.
That is what I'm talking about.
We are football.
Not at home for Thursday night football? No problem. Just watch live primetime games with NFL Mobile only on Verizon. Hey, another tremendous honor for our Marshall Falk, who didn't tell us, but he was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame this week. In 3 years at San Diego State, my man had more than 5,500 yards and 62 touchdowns. That included 386 rushing and 7 touchdowns as a freshman. And that guy, Saints coach, Sean Payton.
Coach.
Wow. What, your last 2 years there?
Yeah.
Okay. So he gets all the credit for pushing you into the College Football Hall of Fame.
I'll give him some of the credit for helping me accomplish that great achievement.
By the way, pretty good class. You,
awesome
Peyton,
class.
Brian Urlacher.
Yeah.
It's good.
The other Adrian Peterson from Georgia Southern.
That's nice. Good work out there.
Good class. Kirk Gibson.
All right, let's get you back to tonight's game. And Sean Payton has been in this division since 2006. And year after year, the Falcons have gone, well, we know how to play them. It's stop Drew Brees, and that's pretty much it. Different ball game now, right? So how do the Falcons stop him?
And that's the thing. Drew Brees has been hot. And if you want to see how hot he has been, let's take a look at some next-gen stats presented by Mercedes-Benz. Drew Brees leads the league with the passing rating of 110 when he's blitzed this season. And if you take a look at these plays, pay attention. These are 3rd and 4s, 3rd and 5s that he's converting. They used to be 3rd and 15, 3rd and 10s, and the reason why they have such short third downs is because on 1st and 2nd now what they're doing in the running game. Drew Brees is handing the ball off, and Kamara and Ingram are doing a great job at making sure that they understand the down and distance, and they are ahead of the chains. Those first downs are easier to get when you're blitzed, when you're passing the football.
And his numbers are also so great because what you just saw also, with the talent he has around him now, and Kamara, we can hand you the dump off the small ball, and you can make it the big play, and that's exactly what they've been doing. Now, it's funny because you talk about how can they slow this down. You say, well, hey, just stop the run. Stop the run. But you turn that game back over to Drew Brees if you stack that line of scrimmage. This is a tough task for Atlanta today.
It's interesting. We talk about slow down the Saints. When have we ever had a Drew Brees just sitting on the sideline? Hey, call me up when you need me, because hey, call me. I'll be there, right? He's that guy. But when you talk about the Atlanta Falcons, you know that defense is anchored by Vic Beasley. He was a star. He was a guy that impacted this, disrupted the offense. But what they don't have is this D-line causing a lot of havoc plays that's being disrupted. this D-line is not causing the havoc plays in the secondary, are not causing the turnovers that they had last year that really propelled them and made them a force to be reckoned with in the playoffs.
I think what's very important for the Falcons tonight is you have to, on first and second down, win the line of scrimmage, make sure that Drew Brees is in third and long, so when it's time for him to get the football out of his hands and you pressure him, it's throws and tackles, and you're off the field on third down. If you can't get off the field on third down, oh boy, it's going to be a long night tonight.
And you talked about forcing turnovers. Atlanta 31st in the NFL doing that this year. Not creating the short field for their offense.
Easier said than done.
Last year, Eli Manning and Larry Fitzgerald shared the honor of being named the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year, presented by Nationwide. So who will win the honor this year? The 32 team nominees will be revealed tonight, coming up on Football Night in Atlanta. Speaking of Atlanta, the fans down here in the ATL.
Oh, they cranking up now.
They're ready. Their team's just 3-3 at home.
Coach asked for now. They're ready to deliver. I asked, did they get them some get-ready juice to get ready?
Everybody who came from a good time, let me hear you say yeah.
Coming up on TNF Game Day. Last season, the Falcons' offense was flying high.
Jones, touchdown Atlanta!
But why have they fallen back in 2017? Plus, with the Saints' attack thriving on the ground, how has Drew Brees changed his game to keep this offense running? And in a star-studded divisional showdown, who will shine tonight in Atlanta when TNF Game Day, presented by KFC, returns?
Good Morning Football, tomorrow at 7, live on NFL Network.
Sunday at 7, Case Keenum and Adam Thielen on revitalizing the Vikings.
Thielen's there! Caught!
Plus, we preview the Wentz-Goff showdown in L.A.
Touchdown, Carson Wentz!
NFL Game Day morning, Sunday at 7, live on NFL Network.
Feels good to be back.
Don't come in. I'm wrapping your present.
The moment you realize you aren't the most original gift giver.
At Lowe's, we can help you pick out the perfect gift that your family is sure to love.
Get a DeWalt 20-volt max cordless drill for only $99 at Lowe's.
What average work pants move like? What Duluth Flex Fire Hose work pants move like? Duluth Flex Fire Hose work pants. Stick it to stiff. Only at DuluthTrading.com.
I got this.
Okay. Go deep.
You want to keep chasing your dreams. We made sure you never have to stop.
Fromm has already hit the 10,000 career yard mark and is now gunning for the state record.
I'm trying to do all I can do to win a state championship.
This could be a serious injury.
We're ranked number 1 in the state. Let's play like we're number 1 in the state.
Hey, everything you got! Let's take it for tonight! Let's go!
For 100 years, heritage and innovation have made Gillette the #1 shave in America. Now get Gillette quality at lower prices every day. Brought to you by 1,200 workers in Boston. We're proud of giving you our best. Gillette, the best a man can get.
You cannot wear a Raiders jersey to my family's Christmas dinner.
the Dallas Cowboys and the Buffalo Bills at the Georgia Dome. Thomas hit as he takes a hand off the ball.
Run him out of it. Run him out.
Oh, what a run by the league's MVP. Dallas, your Cowboys are still champions. The crowd at the Georgia Dome on their feet.
Ball down the sideline.
Couldn't ask for a better script. Let's go win it right now.
Corner back to throw. Caught by Isaac Bruce. Touchdown, Rams! 6 seconds to play. Rams 23, Titans 16.
McNair throws for Dyson. He dives for the end zone.
Didn't make it.
Hey, Michael Marshall, did you get your Super Bowl rings out of the Georgia Dome before it went boom?
Yes, I got one of mine.
What? Come on.
I'm going to miss that place.
Now, if we could just send instructions on how to implode a stadium up to Pontiac, Michigan to get that thing taken care of, everything would be good. In the meantime, getting a good look at the brand new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, right across the street from the old spot of the Georgia Dome. We already introduced you to the longest freestanding Falcon. Take you inside, plenty of places for fans to enjoy the festivities before and during the game. And how about that? The big screens, huh? Steve Smith, you got to put one of those in your crib, I think, right?
I'm retired. I don't have those checks anymore.
You saying TV checks don't cut it?
I didn't say that. I just don't have it anymore.
Nice. Good-looking place in there. Hey, tonight's game actually kicks off an exciting weekend in the NFL, and particularly involving NFC teams. The Vikings take an 8-game winning streak into Carolina. MVP candidate Russell Wilson faces the #1 D in the league in Jacksonville, and the top 2 picks in last year's draft go at it for the first time. The Eagles and the Rams also tied for the highest-scoring teams in the league. But let's focus on those Minnesota Vikings, who are currently the 1 seed as we speak. You can see the Saints are checking in at #4, and the Atlanta Falcons #7 on the outside looking in. As far as the Vikings, we kept hearing the discussion once Teddy Bridgewater was back in uniform, maybe replacing Case Keenum, that whole thing as we get you to the courtyard greatness on the road. And Case Keenum is a guy who, he's playing the rest of the regular season. We get that. But Marshall Faulk, do you trust his abilities come January?
It's not even fair for you guys to ask me that. You know I'm jaded. I'm jaded. He was quarterbacking the Rams through a couple seasons that was just awful. So you're asking me to trust a guy who lost a lot of games for the Rams. But I have to say this. Sometimes you get a second chance, and there's times you get a third chance. In Case's case, he's doing a great job. That's all he has to do is go out there and play like he has nothing to prove. Just make the passes that they're asking you to make, because they're not asking Case to win games, but he's doing more than just managing games.
Yeah. But do you trust him to win a game if he has to? If he's down 7 in the 4th quarter of a game in January?
No, and see, that's the difference. We're talking about if he's down. If he's down, I don't trust him. If they're up, and you just got to maintain that defense. I can, with the whole team. I'm talking about the other 10 guys in the huddle. When he's in the huddle, I trust that. I trust them.
I trust him because, look, you just don't
trust anybody.
That is not true. I don't trust that man. So anyway, but I'm just joking, Mike. I trust you,
man. I know you.
One eye open, one eye closed.
I got you.
But listen, when you have 15 for 15, you don't just roll out of bed and just do that. He is doing what he's doing. I believe what I see. They have a system, and he's working the system. Right. He is doing everything he can. They didn't want to give him the job with Sam Bradford. Oh, Sam Bradford goes down. Who you go? You go with Case Keenum. Sam Bradford comes back. Case Keenum comes back in. Now they have Teddy Bridgewater behind him. Case Keenum is still out there dropping dimes. You know what Case Keenum is? Case Keenum is the rare thing that it happens. Is you're sitting in the couch, you look over, and you find a $100 bill. It's rare, but it happens, and that's exactly what Case Keenum is.
Whose couch are you sitting on?
That's why I said it's rare. Every blue moon.
You got to be rich to lose $100 and not look for it. Football is an ultimate test now, and each day it brings about new challenges. Now, to play in the preseason football, what he's done in preseason, I trust him in that. Now, there's going to be a new level, a new devil that he hits when he gets to playoffs, and I don't know about him there. But I tell you what I see right now is a perfect system for what he is doing right now. And you talk about it, Marshall, it was apropos that we showed the Rams in the run-up, because this is what it could be. How Kurt Warner just fit in with all those guys around him. Case Keenum may have slid in a perfect situation for him right now to have this team in a Super Bowl. I believe Case Keenum has the ability to take him to Jerry.
I don't think it's fair, though, to compare what he did not do with the St. Louis and Los Angeles Rams, because who was the coach that was there?
I tried.
Jeff Fisher
let that man rest on his couch.
Why y'all taking me back there?
I'm just
why do we have to go back?
I'm just saying it's not fair to judge a man based on being handcuffed and not being coached in the proper way. Look at the Los Angeles Rams right now. They are playing unbelievable, and that's because of players and coaching. They are evolving and learning and being coached, unlike the guy before who didn't do anything. Case Keenum was playing well, and the other guy, Jared Goff, is playing well.
Because guess what? The Rams and Eagles are also leading their division. They're likely going to make the playoffs. I mean, do you trust Jared Goff and Carson Wentz? We haven't seen them in that situation either.
Right, but is Rich first?
I'm
not
Chris.
Chris, Rich. You know. But
not
listen,
the same person.
First of all, they don't have that Viking defense. They got good defense, but they don't have that Viking defense. Now, when you ask me, do I trust Case Keenum? I got to trust the whole team with Case Keenum. I'm asking him to do what he does and let that defense do what they do.
Because he's part of that team.
Right.
By the way, the Vikings looking to win 9 in a row in the regular season.
I'm sorry, Rich and Chris, y'all looking like
easy for the first time since 1975. I was trying to get out before you got there. I've known you too long. Hey, check out who earned the title of Courtyard's Greatness on the Road Player of the Week every week starting Monday morning on NFL.com/GOTR. Alvin Kamara, there he is. Hey, you can count the votes. It's over. He's your offensive rookie of the year. There's no question. We'll show you how he's getting it done, he and Mark Ingram, a little bit later. And also, quick reminder to play against the experts in the weekly Pick'em game presented by Lexus. Go to NFL.com/Pick'em and see if you know more than the pros. Chris or Rich is back with more.
TNF Game Day is brought to you by Verizon, best gifts on the best network, and by FedEx. Sign up for FedEx Delivery Manager.
Let's get the one with the candy cane.
Well, you know, the wrapping paper doesn't make the holidays. It's what's inside that counts.
It's the phone for Mom.
Okay, well, it's also what's inside the phone that counts, too.
Circuits?
No, the network.
So the network is inside the phone?
Well, no, the network's around the phone. And Verizon is the most awarded network ever. That's why more people count on it. There you go.
A gift is only as good as the network it's on. So give any Google Pixel 2 and get $300 off with no trade-in required.
You're Drew Brees. I'm sorry to bother you, but my car broke down, and I'd really appreciate a ride to the stadium.
Yes! But no, I have to stay here and wait for a package.
I thought anybody who rooted for me would have FedEx Delivery Manager. That way you can sign for your packages remotely and even customize your delivery time. Excuse me, sir. Could you take me to the stadium?
Sure, hop in.
Thank you.
Hope you like jazz fusion. Squid up what? Sorry.
Customize your deliveries with FedEx Delivery Manager.
I'm watching that.
Ew. Every Christmas is memorable. But a gift from Kay Jewelers makes it unforgettable. Because it's more than a gift. It's a memory she'll wear forever. Like these fabulous necklaces perfect for layering, stackable bracelets, and other gifts she's sure to love. At Kay, the #1 memory maker in America.
Every kiss begins with Kay.
Every NFL game is filled with spectacular plays that demand your attention. And these jaw-dropping moments deserve to be seen from dramatic new angles. 3D technology makes these moments completely immersive and instantly iconic. See every side of the play with 3D highlights at NFL.com/3D.
You dropped the bomb. You can't bomb on me, baby. You dropped the bomb on me. Oh,
Every touchdown pass, got it. Every touchdown dance, got that too. Every kickoff, every coach ticked off. Incredible shakes, of course. Fans that shake? Yup. Right place at the right time? Mm-hmm. Right place at the wrong time? Got that too. If it's NFL football and it happened, we got it. Never miss a thing with broadcast replays, condensed games, and coaches' film. NFL Game Pass. Get it for a new lower price today.
You ready for some Thursday night football? Yeah. NFL Network. Yeah. Well, let's get it then. Hey. Perfect, right? Football on a Thursday night. Bright light shining heavy. I see the NFL Network inside. Look, this the preview before the action, and we quarterback. Got all the answers and breakdowns way before you ask. That's right. Like who to watch, who been hot, and who to stop, and who running through the defense without even using blocks. So when it's third and long, this show is more than a good call. The network for the NFL. Thursday night football, game time. Yeah.
Steve Smith, if you had gone to the gym with me earlier today, you would have seen me doing this. See, you missed out.
I had to buy a coat.
I get it. Saints getting loose for tonight's game. By the way, since starting their run in Week 3, New Orleans is allowing less than 18 points per game on defense. That rebuild in the Bayou, the focus of Game Theory, presented by Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry. Here's Cynthia Freeland.
The Saints defense has been their Achilles heel for years. But thanks to a new defensive scheme and the impact of a rookie corner, they've turned into one of the league's best. This season, Cam Jordan has been deployed more on both sides of the formation, resulting in an increase in pressures while also allowing the entire defensive front to be more efficient. Even on downs when Cam Jordan has been double-teamed, the Saints' rotation of pass rushers allows them to put constant pressure on opposing quarterbacks. The Saints' overall improvement shows what can happen when the defensive front and secondary work together. In 2016, the Saints didn't have a single defender who held opposing quarterbacks to a passer rating under 73. But thanks to an increased pass rush and the 11th overall draft pick, Marshawn Lattimore, the Saints' two primary corners are holding quarterbacks to a combined passer rating allowed of only 59. With the defense to complement their high-powered offense, my model projects that not only will the Saints win the NFC South, but they have the second-best odds of earning a first-round bye.
All right, Cynthia, thank you very much. So is this a defense that can make a deep playoff run, Marshall Faulk?
I believe so. And here's the thing. When you start to look at this defense, you don't see a lot of Pro Bowl caliber players. But I have to give defensive coordinator Dennis Allen some credit here. He has this defense playing like one. When you look at how they play, it's not always the best, and they're not always great plays being made. But as a unit, they are so effective and disruptive that it don't even take turnovers half the time. They could just get you 3 and out and give Drew Brees the ball back. And boy, that's a double-edged sword right there.
And we got to talk about Dre Blythe with that. We talked about that with Dre on the field earlier. And he talked about early on in the season, these guys were not communicating in bunch sets and they were getting hit with plays. But now they are communicating. I say this defense is built because the gate gets narrow with the type of offense that they have over there with the Saints. First of all, you got points. You know what I mean? You got points. So you're going to be playing teams that are coming from behind most of the time. You get rest. They're 6th in time of possession, this offense. So, yes, that Saint defense, this Saint defense can get them to the playoffs.
You know, you were Super Bowl. You were in the division with Carolina in 09 when they won the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
Different defense back then.
That was a 25th ranked defense, Coach Chris, back then, but they were second in turnovers.
Yeah, but they were opportunistic. They forced almost 40 turnovers. So this is a different team, but maybe better?
This is a better team because they don't do anything fancy. They're not trying to break your will. They are lining up, doing what they need to do. They have success by committee. And the one guy that I've been very impressed with is Kenny Vaccaro. He was a guy that's in the last couple of years been looked at as a guy that's been a liability in the secondary. He's a slobber knocker. He went to the University of Texas. He'll come downhill and he'll come down. But what he's done is now he has been able to dissect and be an anchor in this defense. He is being a guy that you can count on that can cover. He's a guy like Malcolm Jenkins that has become a safety now that can cover. You see these guys coming down and covering slot receivers, and they're not playing off. He's lined up. playing and pressing. This is a guy that you didn't believe that he can become this player, but Kenny Vaccaro is becoming that player, and it is unbelievable. It's exciting to watch him because when he does defend you, he also can hit the out of you as well.
And he was a physical guy coming out. He was always physical. Now, but the whole league is going to that anything guy, the guy that can play both safeties and corners and have to come up and cover. And I didn't know Kenny Vaccaro can do some of the things he do. You can put him on those big flexed out tight ends and let him play him like we just saw on the tape.
And Cameron Jordan, their leader on defense, I'm telling you now, third year with 10 or more sacks, it's impressive.
Got missing on that line tonight. That's the only thing I'm worried about.
What he's been able to do here with the Saints, leading this young group of guys, he is the glue for them. He should have a big night tonight.
That's what I'm worried
about. And tonight they're trying to stop Matt Ryan, the reigning league MVP. In his last 6 games against the New Orleans Saints, he's 4-2. He has thrown 14 touchdowns, only 1 interception. Hey,
not this again, not this arm.
I have no idea what exercise that is, but I'm sure it'll help him today.
That's like, well, I'm from you back up, you don't say anything.
Right, that's
In the meantime, there's Drew Brees doing his thing. Almost 40 years old, still getting it done, but on pace for his fewest touchdowns he's had since he arrived in New Orleans. And boy, what a rivalry this has been.
He said, I'll go to John Elway. 'Cause I've already hit the
A moment almost unimaginable 13 months ago is here.
Hayden and Pike.
By Steve Gleason. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Here's a throw to Graham. Touchdown. Tony Gonzalez, the Atlanta touchdown. Victory for the Saints. Listen to this crowd. A career day for Matt Ryan. 448 yards, and it is good. Atlanta wins.
This is the next step, and we gotta have.
Wherever he went, whatever he did, guys just followed him.
The way that he was always positive about everything, he inspired me.
He is definitely one of the greatest to ever play this game.
Aeneas Williams is unbelievable.
When I saw what he was doing in Ferguson, he brings all these people together and they can talk through the things that they're going through in life. This is absolutely amazing.
For 42 minutes, he's been trying to bring an entire stadium to its feet.
You missed it, buddy.
Why does he do it? For glory? Notoriety? We don't know. Frankly, we don't need to know. But much like this hero, Courtyard is all about the game.
1, 2, 3. Hey, there's my guy. Yes. Good. Snacks? Yeah, man. Eat it up, and we're going to burn it off doing the wave.
Skipper, let's see what the Colonel got you.
Okay. A KFC $5 fill-up? Yes!
Did you like it?
I got one too!
And honey, the Colonel didn't leave us out.
She liked it, right?
It's a $20 family fill-up. That's a great home-cooked meal that we don't have to home-cook.
Man, I nailed it this year. It's finger-licking good.
Carbs to refuel. Electrolytes to help replenish what you lose in sweat. Gatorade. Rehydrate, replenish, and refuel.
There are moments in life where the smallest adjustments can make a big difference. Braun beard trimmers have up to 39 length settings, which adjust to the nearest ½ millimeter, giving you total control of your style. For the moments that matter to you, Braun, designed for what matters.
Who were the greatest teams in history?
They couldn't be stopped.
We're the best in the world!
We're the best! That is the greatest team of all time ever built.
We know we're the best team!
The NFL's top 10 greatest teams, tomorrow at 8 on the NFL Network.
Rodgers from the 42 of New York, 4th down and 2. He downfield, scrambles right. Now, winds up, rainbows into the end zone. It is caught!
You cannot wear a Raiders jersey to my family's Christmas dinner.
The Bucket List is brought to you by KFC, because no matter what year it is, fried chicken and football are a winning combination. Time for the Bucket List, presented by KFC.
Hey, let's cut it loose. Have some fun today, all right? Let's get after their ass. Go get set. Go get set. Silent one. Ready?
Ryan takes the snap. New England going to bring some pressure. Throw for Hooper. He caught it!
Yeah! I'm going to go away from whichever way the safety is going.
Matt pumps, runs. A rushing touchdown for Matt Ryan.
Let's finish this thing. Come on. Let's go.
Ryan throws, end zone. Jones caught it all the way through. Touchdown, Atlanta.
Got to keep going, baby. That's it.
They don't want to finish. They want to hit the reset button. And there's Matt Ryan doing that same thing we saw just a few minutes ago. Maybe it'll help him because last week he failed to throw a touchdown pass for the first time in 31 games. And these fans in Atlanta, they need something to get excited about. A year ago, led the NFL in scoring at almost 34 per game. This year, averaging fewer than 23 points per game. And guys, as we continue on, Steve Smith, I don't want to hear the talk about Kyle Shanahan's out in San Francisco and Steve Sarkisian. We're 3 months into this thing now. Shouldn't they have figured it out?
I mean, that's the point. We're 3 months in and they're still stalling. The reason they're stalling is Kyle Shanahan is the author of this playbook. But you got a guy who's just really, he's just calling the plays. He doesn't understand how you develop and build on top of plays. I've been in this offense. This is an offense that you set up things in the first preseason game, you set up for the week 1, and then the next time you play a team. What you have, the issue is you have a new guy with Steve Sarkisian who's an Android, and then the original guy who did it was an iPhone guy. They don't always compute and they don't always match up together, and they have to figure it out. If they don't figure it out, their season will come to an end, and this beautiful stadium will no longer be used except for college football.
Some of the problems you have to think are, and you know when you have success like the Falcons did last year, everybody watch your tape. So teams are coming in understanding what you do and why you do it. So you might have to tweak some things. And I'm going to say Dan Quinn has done a great job since he's been the head coach of the Falcons and pushing the right buttons, making the right decisions. I believe the decision to bring in Sark and not allow Sark to install his own offense compared to just having maybe the quarterback coach, Matt LaFleur, who is now the offensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Rams, maybe give him a shot at calling plays was a bad decision. As players, we can learn different offenses. As coaches, your offense is your offense.
But why is that? I don't understand that.
I know you don't. But when you build an offense and you input stuff and you invent things and you put your stamp on it, you can implement it and explain it piece by piece to players. When you're learning a system, you can't teach people about what you are still learning.
And it's more than just X's and O's. You know, it's more than X's and O's. It's understanding the personality and all that of a team. It's funny because they did a great job talking about what Devontae Freeman said. He has a lot of gifts, a lot of talent around him, and he's still learning how to get us all involved. That's a key thing that he's saying. If I know you're learning how to get me involved, I'm coming with less excitement. They knew how to get everybody involved last year, and they played with a different excitement. I remember when we made the switch from Norv Turner to Ernie Zampese, and we ran the same offense. Norv Turner learned under Ernie Zampese, and Norv Turner and Ernie Zampese sat down and they talked the personality of our team, not just the X's and O's of a team. And when I got in, I sat down, I talked with Ernie. Ernie said, I already talked to Norv. I know what we have to do to make sure we get you the ball here. We do these things. That's what this team is missing. That's the big thing.
Last point, 10 seconds.
The last point is basically you have to understand you can take a simple slant route. In the number system, it's called 202. In the West Coast, it's called a lion. And then it's just good old-fashioned football outside in the parking lot, it's called a slant. You got the same route, but said so many different ways. You have to all get on the same page. It's not a key. it's an issue when now you're in week 14 and you can't get it together.
It would have been crazy for them to change offenses, though.
Yeah.
When, you know, after winning MVP and going to a Super Bowl, no way you change offense. You just should have kept that offense coordinator.
Well, maybe Matt Ryan gets it going this night against the New Orleans Saints. Hey, you want to make sure to check out the NFL social platforms tonight to weigh in on who you think will be the TNF difference maker presented by KFC. Drew Brees, all systems go for the New Orleans Saints. I like the maybe the color rush jerseys they're going to be wearing tonight.
Just the Archie Manning all white.
Yes, it is. It looks good.
White after Labor Day.
Thursday night football. Let's get it. Game night, raise the stakes, pound for pound, weigh the scale, weigh it up. NFC, time to eat, New Orleans, ATL, you know what it is. When Matt Ryan dropped that wine, then he could do you no wrong. I think they used duct tape on the gloves made when they passed it to Julio Jones. He caught that, and it's looking too easy when the ball get released from Drew Brees. Hey, Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram gon' eat up yards. Too greedy, let's eat. Closing the season, games mean a little more, so it's worth the fight, yeah. They call me PL when it's NFL. Welcome to Thursday night, right?
Hey! Yeah? I switched to Geico and got more. More savings on car insurance. They helped with homeowners, too. Okay. Plus, motorcycle, boat, and RV insurance. Geico's got you covered. Like a blanket.
Houston, you seeing this?
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
I wrote you a love note without writing a single word.
This holiday, create a gift from the heart that could only come from the Pandora Boutique at Jared. A world of Pandora, including exclusive pieces designed just for Jared. Ready to be mixed, matched, and stacked with help from Jared's own Pandora expert. The one gift that speaks volumes you'll both treasure forever. That's why he went to Jared.
Dental professionals recommend using an electric toothbrush. In a recently published clinical study, Philips Sonicare Diamond Clean removed up to 82% more plaque than Oral-B 7000. Philips Sonicare. Save when you switch now.
Hey Google, add coffee from Walmart to my cart.
Your order history has great value French roast coffee pods from Walmart. Add to cart?
Yes.
Anything you want.
Add laundry detergent from Walmart to my cart.
Anything you need.
Add paper towels.
Add a baking pan. Hey Google, add a football from Walmart.
Anything at all, you got it.
All smartphones are more or less the same, right? But this is the Moto Z.
Hello, Moto.
Can your phone turn into a projector? Because a 70-inch projection beats any phone screen. And they might be bragging about portrait mode, but can your phone go beyond and transform into a real 360 camera? It's time to reinvent your smartphone. It's time to move on. Moto mods on the new Moto Z from Motorola. Available at all major carriers.
Golden Corral Smokehouse keeps on rolling. New smoked beef short ribs, honey chipotle shrimp, baby back ribs, and more. But if you want to rock the salad bar, hit it. The Smokehouse at Golden Corral. Your choice rules.
Thursday night football. It's Broncos.
Game time, baby.
It's Colts.
1, 2, 3, go.
Von Miller and Denver are looking to finish strong.
Oh, my goodness, he caught it.
But T.Y. Hilton and Indy aren't going down without a fight.
That was awesome.
Thursday night football. When it's on, it's on. Next Thursday at 8 on NFL Network, NBC, and streaming on Amazon Prime Video. Then it's an NFL Network special doubleheader Saturday, December 16th, starting at 4:30, only on NFL Network.
Week 14 in the NFL gets started in Atlanta, where the defending NFC champs start a brutal stretch run with division-leading New Orleans. Who's ready for Thursday night football?
Tonight in Atlanta, it is a high-impact matchup in the NFC South. The surging Saints have made an electric run into first.
And the Saints are celebrating at the back of the end zone.
And now try to move one step closer to a division crown. Meanwhile, the reigning MVP,
and defending NFC champs are fighting just to stay alive in the NFC playoff hunt. Saints, Falcons. Week 14 starts now. Welcome to TNF Game Day, presented by KFC.
In a word, the Falcons season has been inconsistent. They will try and right the ship against the NFC South leading New Orleans Saints as we welcome you outside of Mercedes-Benz Stadium. About 90 minutes from kickoff here of Week 14. Got a pair of Hall of Famers, Michael Irvin and Marshall Faulk, and a guy that will be getting his gold jacket one day, Steve Smith. Hopefully they'll shop for you because you had to shop for this one earlier today. My man, it was cold out. Didn't you check the weather forecast?
No, I did not.
So you did run to the mall and go do a little shopping?
Yeah, it was a little nippy. I should have got me a beanie, too.
It's
My
all
hand's
right.
cold.
It's all right. We usually don't tell our dirty little secrets up here, but sometimes you got to air out the rookie. It happens. All right, real quickly, let's take a look at the playoff picture as it sits right now. The Falcons are on the outside looking in. And they're a game back of Seattle and Carolina. And just how competitive is the NFC? The Saints are 9-3 and currently sit as the 4 seed, which is pretty impressive. All right, time to see what is at stake tonight. With a W, the Saints at worst will be a 3 seed. And if the Vikings and Eagles both lose on the road, New Orleans will be the top dog. Now, if Atlanta wins, it matches Seattle and Carolina with 8 W's. You know, those things that Jameis Winston, Joe Flacco like to eat. Remember, the Falcons beat Seattle and lost at Carolina, but has a shot at redemption against the Panthers in Week 17. Now, guys, what are you most looking forward to in this game? And Marshall Faulk, let's start with you.
It's all about the running game. I know we got 2 quarterbacks that they'll be Hall of Famers. Both of these guys are MVPs. But when you think about it, Freeman and Coleman, Kamara and Ingram, this game is going to come down to he who runs the football best will win this football game.
For me, I want to see which New Orleans Saints running back gets to 100 yards first. I mean, it's unbelievable how these guys are running downhill. They're running the ball. They're catching the ball behind the line of scrimmage, running screens, getting out in the field.
Are you talking about scrimmage yards or rush yards? Which way you call it?
I know for a fact we both went to public school, so 100 yards altogether. How about that?
I'm taking that. And actually,
you didn't go to public school.
I went to a private school.
You did?
Thank you.
Well, you need your money back.
I'm sorry. Went to a private school. Only got my degree early. Let's get back to what we were talking about.
In high school?
Early in college. Let me talk about what we're talking about here. Now, what I'm looking forward to is this out here. Number one thing, Coach called for noise in this dome tonight. He wants this crowd to be in the game. The number 2 thing that will help this crowd get in the game is creativity and how to move Julio Jones around and get him the matchups, because this team goes as Julio Jones goes. That's what I'm looking for tonight.
Listen to them. They're making their noise.
They're excited.
Making their noise.
They said they ready.
It's getting a little noisy. It'll be noisy inside the dome tonight. And for the first time this evening, we check in with Heather Cox. Hi, Heather.
Well, hello, Chris. The big news for the Saints is the status of cornerback Marshawn Lattimore, a favorite for Defensive Rookie of the Year. And tonight, he will start after missing 2 straight games with an ankle injury. But they will be without left guard Andrus Peat, who until tonight hadn't missed an offensive snap all season. Now on the other side, the Falcons won't have their Iron Man on the O-line. Left guard Andy Levitri will miss the first game of his 9-year career with a tricep injury. Ben Garland will take his place and make his first career NFL start. Now, as for the sense of urgency for Atlanta in this game, they've been in this scenario before. They're 7-5 after 12 games, just like last season when they were able to run the table, win the division, and ultimately make the Super Bowl. Dan Quinn told his team these division games are our identity games. And the message this week, as one player put it, was simply, do right longer. Chris?
All right, Heather, thank you very much. Marshawn Lattimore out there trying to make plays for the New Orleans Saints. He has done so tonight as a guy. I imagine you don't dish out a lot of compliments to rookie defensive backs, do you?
Not all the time, but sometimes you do. There's a rare guy like Marshawn Lattimore.
He deserves it, guys?
Yes, sir.
I mean, it is a different defense with him out there because he has missed the last 2 games, Michael. So he is a difference maker, right?
Yeah, and you know you got that guy. It's just like what Minnesota has, Xavier Rhodes kind of guy that you say, hey, we got this guy over here. When you play against a guy like Julio Jones, you feel good that you have him to play that guy. Gives the whole defense confidence.
It is rare when you're talking about a corner that it's a rookie corner that you have guys giving accolades to, but when you take a look at the tape, you get to see exactly why this kid is special. Understand his defense points per game, with and without him. With him, they're only giving up 14.3 points per game. Without him, 26 points per game. As a rookie, to come in and understand what's going on around you, you're not just playing man, but you're playing concept. Right. And you're communicating on the back end with people. I spoke to my old teammate, Dre Bly, first-round draft pick of the St. Louis Rams, and he raved about this kid and his ability to just, when things happen bad, he's able to put it to the back of his head and go out there and continue to play. Rare thing for a young corner to come in and not just use the things that he do well, but to continue to get better and play concept and scheme
that
on the
physical
defense.
Skill set from shoulders down and just out there playing crazy and just playing his game. This guy plays defensive football, a total game package. I'm telling you, he knows where his help is. That's what makes it difficult. Steve, you and I both have been in those situations where you got those cornerbacks and they got the safety help. But some of those corners don't always play towards their help. And I can beat a double team if you're not playing it the right way. Him, Xavier Rhodes, the better corners in this league, they play it the right way. They play it on talent in the defense.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and just say it out there. Most DBs are dumb as a box of rocks, but this kid, football IQ is out the door. I mean, he has the ability to do everything. They rave about him because he's smart, he's intelligent, but he's also physical. He doesn't back down. And one of the things that he's going to do, I know he's done, is he's going to watch film on Julio Jones of what guys have done to be successful, like Xavier Rhodes. But then he's also going to see what other guys have failed at. So he's going to make sure he doesn't do the things that they've made mistakes at, and he's going to pay attention to the few guys, a very short list of people that have been successful against Julio Jones.
You're telling me you guys, though, wouldn't be licking your chops if you saw a rookie lining up against you, too?
I would lick my chops. I would not be licking my chops going against Marshawn Lattimore. He is a different breed. You know what he actually is? He's coming out of college. He's a dying breed. He understands the intellectual part of the game on top of playing physical.
Looking for a little more information? Let's send it back inside right now to Liam McHugh, Rodney Harrison, and the Hall of Famer, Tony Dungy.
Guys, thanks so much.
Hold on, Liam. I got a problem with what Steve Smith said.
Two wide receivers out there talking.
Hey, Steve, what are you talking about, man? You're talking about most DBs are dumb as a rock. I was a very smart player, and there's a lot of smart players out here. What is he talking about, Coach?
I was a DB.
Yeah, you were a DB. And most wide receivers are prima donnas.
Well, and you see how smart you are? You make your point, and we're not tossing right back to them, so we can't even counter your point. It's a smart play. It is.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, man.
Exactly. All right. Throughout the night, a lot's been made of course, the Saints 1-2 attack in the backfield. You look at the Falcons. They feel like they've got two explosive backs. Everyone says, hey, good problem to have. As a coach, how do you handle it?
It can be a little bit tough because these backs, Coleman and Freeman, are very good. They're diverse. They don't do the same things. And then you also have wide receivers that you're trying to get the ball to. But I think the key to this attack is how they get the ball to these backs. Not only running the ball, Rodney, but throwing it to them.
It is, Coach, because you don't want to get into a shootout with Drew Brees and these two backs. And I would suggest having both of them at the same time play, because I like Tevin Coleman. He does a great job. He can play in the slot, and you can put Freeman in the back. But what I'm looking at, and most people haven't really talked about it, was the play of the offensive line last year. And I think it's been a big problem for him this year. Last year, this offensive line was just dominant. They controlled the line of scrimmage. You saw guys hustling. Alex Mack 40, 50 yards down the field. This year, you don't see that same effort.
But I do think balancing this attack, running the ball more, will help that offensive line. Don't put them in a situation where they're pass protecting 50 times a game. Let them come out and dictate a little bit. Get the ball to these backs running early tonight.
And you know what that sets up, Liam? That sets up the play-action pass.
And you know what? That's two defensive backs with clear, concise,
I thought we were pretty intelligent. I don't know.
Points.
Well, let me tell you this. I think we're a lot smarter than Steve Smith and Michael Irvin.
Right now, we'll send it back out to Chris.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. Pittsburgh Steelers linebacker Ryan Shazier had spinal stabilization surgery on Wednesday night at the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center to address the spinal injury he suffered Monday night in Cincinnati. According to our Ian Rappaport, Shazier's recovery will take months. His 2017 season is over. Back to the games we play when we return. We will break down Julio Jones. How can the Falcons get him going for the second time in 3 weeks? That's coming up.
Access. No access. Total access.
What a
Catch? There's no catch. You want total 5-night-a-week, 32 NFL team insider access? Watch NFL Total Access. Tomorrow at 7, live on NFL Network.
Sunday at 7, Case Keenum and Adam Thielen on revitalizing the Vikings.
Thielen's there! Caught!
Plus, we preview the Wentz-Goff showdown in L.A.
Touchdown, Carson Wentz!
NFL Game Day morning, Sunday at 7, live on NFL Network.
More people shop online for the holidays than ever before. And the United States Postal Service delivers more of those purchases to homes than anyone else in the country. Because we know, even the smallest things are sometimes the biggest.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you?
Grande flat white, please. Make that 2. I got this. No, it's cool. I got it. No, I got it. No, you don't.
No, I'm gonna get it.
Mom, I love you.
Oh.
I got this. I got this.
I got this. No, I got it. Is that Christian McCaffrey and Jonathan Stewart? Nice try.
Yeah, I got this. Boom. Too slow, rookie.
You want to spread a little joy?
Thanks.
We've got an easier way to do it. Now you can tap to pay with Visa at Starbucks this holiday season.
How's it going down there?
That's good. Like it, Mrs. Zoo. I'm over it, though.
That's fine. I miss her more than you anyway. Hey, my window is closing.
Yeah, that's okay.
All right, Miles. I love you.
Yeah, I love you, too.
Harlem River, talk to me. Tell me what you think about.
There are moments in life where the smallest adjustments can make a big difference. Braun beard trimmers have up to 39 length settings, which adjust to the nearest ½ millimeter, giving you total control of your style. For the moments that matter to you, Braun, designed for what matters.
Don't come in, I'm wrapping your present.
The moment you realize you aren't the most original gift giver.
At Lowe's, we can help you pick out the perfect gift that your family is sure to love.
Get a Cobalt 227-piece mechanics tool set for $99 at Lowe's.
Present for you.
Another one for me. Julio. I don't have this one. Thank you. You know what? I think I'm going to go try it on.
Get your game day started Sunday at 7 a.m. with NFL Game Day morning.
Cowboys.
In L.A., it's a showdown between Carson Wentz and Jared Goff. Kurt Warner will let you know which young QB has the edge this week. And Eli Manning is once again the Giants starter. Our guys explain it. Eli's emotional return will inspire New York to take down Dallas. Plus, it's Ravens-Steelers week.
Roethlisberger, rifles, fighting for it, Antonio Brown, touchdown!
Will Antonio Brown be the difference maker once again? Michael Irvin has the answer. It all starts Sunday at 7 a.m. Then at 9, it's Rich and the gang taking you right up to kickoff.
Well, from game day morning to good evening in Atlanta, an NFC South rivalry renewed between the Saints and the Falcons. Big question here, will Julio Jones grab a leading role like 2 weeks ago, or will he be a bit player like last game?
Tee it up for Julio Jones. Julio's there, and it's caught. Touchdown, Atlanta. Julio stays in, hit the pylon. Oh, my goodness. Ryan going to throw and just threw it through the wickets of Julio Jones.
Oh, my goodness. It's a catch you expect Julio to make 10 out of 10 times.
Wow.
In 10 games following a sub-50-yard performance, Jones has 5 100-yard games. He snagged 7 touchdowns. So if you follow that history, he's got a shot at a bounce-back game tonight against the New Orleans Saints. And Michael Irvin, there's a lot of football fans that sit there and wonder, you know, Antonio Brown gets like 12 targets a game. Why didn't that happen last week? What were the Vikings doing, and how does he match up against the Saints tonight?
And we were talking about it as we were watching the Aeneas Williams Football Life that we're showing on the network, and that's that Aeneas Williams, Bobby Taylor type coverage that I used to have to deal with, and that's what Julio Jones had to deal with last week. Xavier Rose, watch what he does, man. This kid is a brilliant kid. He's strong, but you see that? You see Harrison Smith right there? He's always pushing Julio to where his help is. He's going to be physical with him at the line of scrimmage, always going to get his hands on him, not letting this galloping runner get his speed and come down on safeties. It's very difficult, guys, I'm telling you, when you have that physical guy at the line of scrimmage pounding you. You got to beat him at the line of scrimmage, run a route, and then exert yourself. That's exactly what Xavier Rose did. That's what they need to do tonight if they want to stop Atlanta.
That's a tough road, but we were in Dallas last week in Irvingville, and remember I talked about having a PhD in route running. Julio Jones, even though he didn't play well last week, Julio Jones has that PhD in a route tree. He can run every route. You got a quick out, you got a slant. That'd be number 2 and number 3 on the route tree. Then you have 3 and 4 and 5, which is a curl and a dig. You see guys are pushing off, but he's going to use the leverage. A little dink and dunk, a little nudge off the side. And then you got a corner and a post, a 7 and an 8. But here's the thing with Julio that I love. Julio can out-jump you, outrun you, but he also can do some things right here where we're going to put some our own branches on our tree. And I hate to say it, Mr. Smith, he has the ability to run every route tree and also run his own routes. You just can't fall out of bed and do that. You have to be a technician. That grown man is a route technician.
That last play you just showed. That corner played inside, and his help was inside. Yes. That's why Julio was able to get inside and get back outside.
Another great example.
Now, Rodney, that's not a smart DB, Rodney. I just wanted to let him know that.
Hold on one second.
Yes.
Did you just tried to take away from Aeneas Williams' football life by saying he had over-the-top help playing man-to-man versus you?
Experience to this desk, and I just gave my experience with my knowledge on this desk.
How dare you do that to that man? How dare you take away from Xavier Rose's ability to do what he did to Julio Jones to force Matt Ryan to go elsewhere with the football, because the last time I watched Matt Ryan play with Julio Jones, it didn't matter who was on him. He was throwing the ball to Julio. Absolutely. So there is a problem here, and you have to force feed guys like Julio Jones as Buddy right here was force-fed.
And we talked about this. Julio's not going to make a whole bunch of noise on the sideline like Buddy right here would have and would do. Buddy right here would. And it's cool to him, but I hope he's at least in the back talking to these guys about, because they won't get there without Julio. It's bottom line.
I love what you said about Aeneas, but did you say Bobby Taylor used to shut you down?
Oh, yeah, Bobby Taylor did.
Wow.
And Jason Sehorn.
And Jason Sehorn. Two guys I killed in the playoffs.
I would like to think the number of rings that I have says no one shut me down. But that's another show.
One game is one game. I mean, 2 games is 2. It doesn't make a season, Irv. I mean, come on now.
Irv, I'll stop and save you for a second. Let's take you on the field and see what's happening down there. So, Steve Smith, what do you got tonight?
For me, you got to get guys like another senior, Mohamed Sanu. You got to get him involved. He leads the team with 4 touchdown receptions. The last year, 3+ receptions in 10 out of 11 games. He's not getting that right now. And also, too, he's not on camera, but you got to get a guy like Taylor Gabriel involved, who has three catches a game last year. He hasn't got anything this year.
My guy Michael Thomas here. He's one of my game changers I work with and get a chance to talk with, man. Just an incredible kid, man. Last year, week 17, 10 receptions, 156 yards, which was career high in receiving yards right against these Atlanta Falcons. Now, he's not been having the same kind of year, only one 100-yard game this year, because that running game is running, Marshall.
While y'all stay on the outside, outside. I'm going on the inside. A guy in Cam Jordan, tied for 7th with 10 sacks this season. 3rd season with 10 or more sacks. Unbelievable stat here. Tonight's game will be his 109th career game straight. This man plays on a defensive line, and he has not missed a game in his career.
Well, you know what? You guys are the superstars. I'm a role player. You got to know your role, kind of like Taysom Hill. You're thinking, wait, who is this?
This is you.
Yep.
He is you.
He is a quarterback that is playing on special teams.
Yes.
Had a couple of tackles last week. He's a 27-year-old rookie. He went 23 and 10.
Wait,
no.
Playing quarterback for BYU.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just, yes. You can quarterback this thing.
He's playing unbelievable. Oh,
yes.
my gosh.
Usually the way I quarterback things, it's iceberg dead ahead the way I do things. But I have to explain that to Cam Newton and all that sort of. Yeah.